I'm sure thankful for everybody's willingness to help. The Founders Day does not go on without just a whole lot of work from a lot of good people. So thank you. Jerry, go ahead. Why don't you go? Everybody hopefully has the agenda.
Thank you, Mayor.
So we're going to kind of do that a little bit, but with the mayor's comments and council, this is going to turn out going to go forward. And I wanted to. I'm sure thankful for everybody's willingness to have. The Founders Day does not go on without just a whole lot of work. I hear myself talking in the background.
Yeah, I don't know what's going.
Wondered who that was.
Everybody hopefully has the agenda.
We got some technical difficulties here. You got YouTube playing in the background?
It sounds like it is.
It sounds like.
Because it's recording.
I don't know that it needs to play. Record.
We got to turn off the YouTube.
Send it here, maybe?
We got some technical difficulties here.
There we go.
Jerry, go ahead when you're ready.
Okay, thank you. As we begin here, first of all, thanks again, following up on what Steve said. Mayor, do you want to give us any comments before we begin, just on the final feeling of the council as we begin deciding which of these activities are most valuable to move forward with?
Well, as everybody knows, we moved to the yellow, and we're going to be here. I mean, we're still 6 weeks away from our activity. I have no idea what that's going to bring. We don't know. The health department is thinking everything's going to go good. We're not going to go backwards. They talked. They will not be issuing any mass permits. That's their mass gathering permits. So that's their latest stance. They'll want whatever activities everybody kind of talked about at the mayor's meeting last Friday, scaled down events and that kind of stuff. And you know, they just want strictly to make sure whatever we plan, we abide by their social distancing guidelines and their reopening guidelines, that kind of stuff. So keeping that in mind, anything we talk about should be focused around, you know, obeying the rules, guidelines, I guess they're called. They're not calling them laws or rules, just guidelines. So I say let's keep it simple.
Okay.
My advice, but whatever.
Appreciate that very much. Thank you, Mayor. Just kind of to that, I put a couple of things at the top there, considerations as we look at activities. Obviously, we've kind of talked about before as a Founders Day committee, you know, who is going to be responsible? What are the resources we have? Is it sustainable? Those kinds of things. So we'll want to look at that on the activities we decide who's going to lead. Obviously, the COVID safety measures, how they might apply. The things we do, I think we want to be quality. You know, what is the real value that the community will get out of this? And in the last one, adequate resources and cautions to make sure that's successful. So considering those things, they're kind of chronological. So things that might go on all week is kind of the first category. And maybe just a quick comment. One of the things that or items, I guess, and what I tried to do is just take a lot of suggestions, not try to narrow them down too much unless there was duplications or whatnot. And so you can see among the items here, some of them are still duplications, kind of paper activities that community members might participate in. So the treasure hunt, the family blackout game, a coloring contest, kind of all fit in that category. So in visiting with Allison, and by the way, I have talked to many of you ahead of time, thank you for that. But we felt that would like to recommend that maybe just kind of do away with the treasure hunt and the coloring contest. Put together a simple family blackout game that maybe we can just distribute, you know, to the community. On the squares would be different things. One of the best ones I thought was, who is the mayor and how long has he been in office? Think they could answer that? I don't know. But anyway, things that relate to current, things in the city, a lot of many historical heritage kind of events there also. And by the way, thank you, Heather. I did notice as I looked at the website, we have a new history there and some other things that are starting to show up that as a beginning of what we'll see, I think, in the next month or so. So is first recommendation as far as those type of activities, do you feel okay about that? Any comment, concern, question, suggestion?
Jerry, can I say something? After you and I talked yesterday, I reached out to the company Goose Chase. Bill
Yeah.
had recommended it. And after Bill had recommended it, I noticed that South Davis Rec Center had told me about it. So I called and visited with the girl over South Davis Rec Center who did the activity. And she said it was a huge success. So all of these ideas like that, it's all based from this one app. So then I can create up to 100 challenges, but I don't think I would do 100. But talking with her, she gave me some kind of ideas and suggestions of kind of what worked or didn't work. But they had 200 teams sign up. And as a team, it could be family members or friends or whatever, but it's all ran through this app. So I've been in communication with that company again today, and I hope to be able to video call them after this phone call. She was quoted $250 for unlimited. On the website, it lists it as $500. But I think it would be, I would like to continue to look into this because then it's all through this app system. Because right now with what I'm doing on Facebook, they have to email me. So it's a little bit more of an effort. But if it was just all on this app, they could just go through, give the answer of who the mayor is, how long he's been the mayor, videos of this, and it's all kind of kept together. So I'm kind of moving forward to try to get all the information I can about that. If it doesn't work, like we've said, a bingo board, kind of a paper might also work. But I like this idea of this app. I'm going to keep moving forward with doing that.
Allison, can they see what they've done on the app themselves? Then I mean, like a blackout square, they can see all those things.
So she sent me like her list of challenges, and they have, let's see, my maybe isn't my kitchen. So it's like a list, and so it's like a check off list. So there's points attached to everything. So for 500 points, it says take a picture of your quarantine masks. So your team in quarantine masks is 500 points. So there's kind of like a point system, but yes, they can see it. Then she also said that you can see other people's as well if they post it public. So I would be able to see everything, but they can post it public. So if they think they have demonstrate Hail Mary pass and record it, so they can post that public within the app. The other teams could watch it. And she said she gave bonus points for putting a costume on or for doing different things. So then she was like, it was really fun because once they realized like I was interacting with them, they really got into it and they started doing like really cool submissions, cool videos. So just I could see it, or they can post it so everyone playing the game can see it.
Would that be something that we could post a few selected videos or something if we had some, again, whatever that would be? Could we post those and have those in a spot where we could, we weed them down to maybe 10 or 15 different things? Would we have access to do it that way?
Yes, so I would decide how many, and talking to her, she did a 3-week challenge. And I said, I think we just want to do it 1 week with our like Founders Day week. And she's like, I think 1 week would be the best. So I can do all 10 challenges on Monday, or I could do a challenge every day, or I could do 5 challenges Monday, 5 challenges Wednesday. And then they do, I haven't got a hold of the guy in Woods Cross, but they only did it for a 2-day thing, a weekend thing. And he had 1,000 teams, but they had $4,000 worth of prizes. They were giving families like Nintendo Switches. And there were 14 teams that accomplished, I think, like 30 challenges in 2 days. So, so it can be like as extreme as we want it or as simple as we want it. And then, like I said, she like emailed me like her like whole document with all these ideas of things that that they did. But I think I like going with the heritage theme, having it be family history, having it be make cookies, then get them out in the parks, go to Wadman Park and see the cabin and things like that.
I like it.
I like the potential there. I did put together a 16 square blackout board also that has a mixture of different kind of questions. But maybe we can look at that, and if that facilitates, you know, the idea of getting pictures and getting them back where other people can see them and kind of share the activities among members of the community, I think has a lot of merit to it. So let's look at that if that's okay, Allison.
Okay, yep, I'll keep looking into that. But I think it kind of creates a form of community unity, watching other people do it.
Right.
And just the paper, I still think will be great. And I still think we do that if this other one doesn't work out.
Do you have to have the app in order to see what's going on, or can the results and stuff be posted on Facebook too, or through the website or something, or?
We would do it all through the app. It's a free app.
So the only
we would have to pay to publish this game. But
So you have to have the app to see what's going on.
yes.
Okay.
So that's the only whatever. You have to be able to download the app to get involved with the game. That might not be a problem. Some seniors would not be as excited about that. So anyway, let's look at it and see what the possibilities are.
Okay.
Just along with the prizes, when I was talking with Allison, and you'd kind of mentioned it, Sarah, and relate to other things, I think it'd be fun to approach some of the businesses in Pleasant View and not expect them to give everything, but just highlight what they're doing. Like maybe in the new Straw Market guy, you know, we could give, you know, cinnamon rolls for a breakfast for a family. Maybe we could do participation points, you know, a card or something where they would get a $5 value at a local business and then list the businesses. Maybe the Texas Roadhouse, we could give the first 4 teams maybe that did the best gets a dinner for 4 from them, so that there's some prizes involved, but yet we're involving, you know, community businesses, not expecting them to give everything. I think we've got a little bit of money we could put into prizes to kind of add some interest there also.
Well, they could also even create a special drink that week at Twisted Sugar, you know, just for Founders Day, and a special, you know, Founders Day week, you know, combo meal at Straw Market or
Yeah.
Lost Texan.
Who would be rounding up all the prizes?
Tyson?
I can.
I mean, sweet.
I can do it. And this girl had Texas Roadhouse sponsor it. And so they paid in some money to kind of have some of the, like they had some say in some of the things. So I think we can look at it kind of like a sponsorship, or we pay into some of it. But I'd be happy to collect the prizes.
Yeah, I can help you also, Allison. So, okay. The other activities that might go the week long that we could think about, maybe just the relating to the heritage events. We already have an auto tour, which is just if anyone wants to, you know, they can go on online, and it just takes them on a map to different places. So that's purely optional. The stories and maps and pictures, the game will draw people to some of those things. The other one that was mentioned was a porch decorating contest. Any feelings about that?
I had a question about what type of maps and pictures you're looking for.
Well, these come from, most of them from the historical, center that's been in the basement. They've been sitting down there for 10 years. But there is a map.
The binders.
Yeah. So
okay.
There is a published map of Pleasant View that has the historical, locations where people lived. You know, this is where the Bailey family lived, and this is where the Mauer stagecoach station was, and this is where the hotel at Hot Springs was, and this is where the first schoolhouse was.
Could you make that part of your blackout game of all those locations and stuff? That would be fun.
Yeah, that's already included 2 or 3 of those questions. Where was the first schoolhouse, and who taught it? And take a picture of your group in front of the remains of that schoolhouse. It's still there if you know where it is.
And I guess I mainly asked one because I was curious what family the blackout game is. I'm not familiar with that. And then just because Public Works has a lot of the old orchard maps and irrigation, and they call out the families' names and whose orchards were ran by who. And I don't know, I just thought maybe some of that might be interesting for whoever's, I guess, deciding which maps are in there, but a lot of the
Talked about
background stuff.
specifically was the one that's in the historical center. So those might add
Okay.
to it, it could be added, but
Yes, just to supplement whatever they were using for these things currently.
yeah, so we're talking about things that are already in the historical center that are easily
Okay.
accessible and easy to put up.
Jerry, is that map something that could be copied into an 8.5 by 11
Sure.
sheet of paper? I mean, is that, and be
There have been
quality enough to
copies in
read
the
it?
basement available for, like I say, the last 10 years that go out of print, and we don't print them because nobody uses them, but that'll be on the website and people can print that map off anytime they want.
So can we download that off the website and put it on Facebook too and share that
Sure,
with social media and through the email?
sure. Heather, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, have you seen the map?
Yes,
Okay,
it's ready to publish online.
okay. Much of that stuff has already been uploaded and is ready to be made public as soon as it's reviewed.
Yes.
Okay. Other thoughts? Okay, we mentioned the porch decorating contest. Any comment, yay, nay? Whose idea was that? How would it work? Any comments on that?
I had written it in. Brigham City does it and has huge success because it's able, like, all generations can do it. So, you know, my parents can put flowers out and decorate, make their porch look nice. Or young families could put princess stuff out on their porch. It's definitely something that we would just have to, like, encourage just through our newsletter and stuff of, hey, fix up your porch. If we wanted to put, you know, 3 different categories, the most creative, the prettiest, something, we could do different categories and
Best
have
heritage
prizes.
representation.
Yeah, and we could have prizes. And then it's just kind of drive around Pleasant View during Founder's Day or the week of Founder's Day and look at everyone's porches. So it's just kind of a simple concept, not much work on our part, but the residents just have to think, oh, that's fun, I'll do that.
Is that worth doing, or is that just periphery? And that's not negative comment at all. Any comments on that?
Has there
All
been any
quiet.
problems with that in, did you say Tree Mountain?
Brigham City.
Vandalism or theft or anything like that off the porches if you're doing a week-long event?
No, Brigham City says it's a huge success and they really get into it.
Do you
So
offer
I personally,
prizes?
I'm kind of take it or leave it.
Do you offer prizes and stuff for it? Is that,
In Brigham, they do. I think it would help if we offered prizes, if we gave specific categories. So then they're like, okay, we want to go for the prettiest. We want to go for the, so they have a purpose with their decorations.
patriotic, the most
Mhm.
whatever?
So is anybody opposed to it?
Just a thought, I'm not opposed to it. What my thought would be though is maybe to expand it to include any kind of yard decoration. Some people may not have a porch or may not, you know, have a front entry area. I don't know, sometimes there's weird houses or whatever, but they do want to participate in and maybe some sort of a patriotic display that's not necessarily a porch per se, could be considered as part of the thing as well.
Okay. I have seen different, wards, I guess, or groups, you know, within the community have done Easter. There was Easter egg hunt, you know, and they had eggs in their front yard. There's been sidewalk painting. You know, families have done a number of things to be creative, I think, and reach out. So maybe that would fall in the idea of things that families have done similar to, and I think would be kind of fun. So no one's opposed to it. Allison, we'll put that in your bailiwick of things to do. Is that all right?
Yeah, so I'll gather some information from Brigham City and kind of see how they advertised and some of the things that how they kind of pushed forward or encouraged it.
You put
Okay.
out the pictures and stuff that people submit so everybody can see them and encourage people to get out and drive around them and locate
Yeah,
them.
we can take pictures of, ones that are prize winners, or maybe just some of them, and post those on Facebook, or maybe see if they'll put them in the Connection magazine, get a little bit of publicity that way for them. Okay, moving on. Friday then, I think, is the first day of the week that there might be an activity. There's, by the way, just I guess feedback, where's some talk about the drive-in movie, perhaps at the Weber High parking lot. I think we're aware that Weber High parking lot is closed. The whole campus is closed. They're doing a limited thing for graduation, and probably not other parking lots would really lend themselves to the drive-in idea. But Allison had a thought maybe about Friday evening and a modified movie in the park. Allison, what was your thought there?
Just to kind of stay with social distancing, I could paint a grid on the grass, a 12-inch by 12-inch square, and each family stays in their square. If we do 12 by 12,
12 inches.
or sorry, 12 feet.
Dang it.
Feet by 12 feet. So then you can sit in the middle, which still gives some space in your square for some space for the person next to you, and then them in their square. So just an idea if we'd be willing to do it, because I don't know that there's any other place that can accommodate a drive-in within Pleasant View that I can think of, unless anyone has any suggestions.
No, only-
What's the movie you got going?
I'd have to look back on what we were gonna do.
I think you were gonna do the Addams
The Addams family. Yes, the Addams family.
I think we should do it. I think we should just plan on it. I think it'd be fun. I don't know if you need to do the grids necessarily. That'd be a lot of work, but just have everybody that comes to say, you have to stay 12 feet apart. I
Stay
think
with your
everybody
own
would-
family group.
Your family group. I
Yeah.
think that'd be a fun thing to do. I vote yes.
I think
I agree.
the rules will be such that that would be acceptable if family groups kind of spread out,
Mhm.
would probably be just fine.
In past years, what kind of attendance or participation has there been at the movie night, Allison?
Founders Day is my best attendance. And Sarah, what'd you say, 200, 250?
Yeah,
200?
that. And they, for the most part, there's teenagers that gather no matter what. It doesn't matter what the rules are.
Dang teenagers.
But no kidding. But the families usually keep to themselves. I wouldn't necessarily encourage handing out the popcorn this time. There's not, the U City Council can still be down there to help clean up and whatever else. But everybody pretty much stays with their own family group, and they, talk with the distance and stuff, and it's outside and it's super fun. So.
Okay.
We can plan that subject to canceling it if the rules.
Yeah.
Mayor, stop that. Quit being the responsible party here. Humbug.
I don't want to end
You'd
up
cancel
like that.
Christmas, wouldn't you?
Yeah, there's a certain mayor that's making the news right now. Yeah.
So we're moving forward in full yellow, and who knows, maybe we'll be green by then if we're optimistic, but maybe not. So, okay, so we'll look forward then to a modified movie in the park, Addams Family with social distancing. On to Saturday then. As you can see, we, of course, because of going ahead with the fireworks, so we'll have the salutes at 7. Is that still good? Okay. Got your safety course all up to speed, Tyson?
My safety course?
Yeah, you know how to light salutes without burning fingers and do it
Oh,
unified and
no.
all that?
We
That's
still
the
haven't
fun
figured
part.
that out. Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
fun
We gotta get a
part.
couple burns.
You need to
and
talk to Corey. He's pretty good on safety.
have something blow up in your face because they gave you the fast.
Let's have Corey be in charge of the timer this year.
I got-
3,
I'm
2,
not even gonna be awake
1.
at 7 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
you
the
are.
question I have. If we don't have any events starting in the morning, do we really want to wake everybody up at 7 a.m.?
People have
Yes.
asked me for it. They want it. You're still going to have the cannons, right? And I'm like, yes, to wake you up. It's Founders Day.
You would be surprised how many runners, bikers, walkers, and just plain strollers, are around at 7 a.m. Right, Ann?
I'd be more
So-
surprised if we don't have 10,000 people still in bed though at 7 a.m.
That's okay. It says, yay, it's Founder's Day. We love you.
Yeah.
I vote in favor.
Okay, so salutes were okay. Just quickly overviewing possibilities that might take place would be, of course, the fun one we've talked about. We'll let Christy and the Baileys tell us yes or no there. Neighborhood, we had another name for that, Allison, the convoy. You can talk about that later, or Ann can. That was kind of her, one of her ideas. Possible food truck or Barker Park activities, and then obviously the fireworks in the evening. So that would be kind of the itinerary for that day if we went with all of them, or maybe limited. So let's start. Recommendations, comments on the virtual run. Baileys?
The virtual run is a no-go.
No?
No virtual run.
Okay.
I've done quite a bit. I've done quite a bit of asking around. And some would like it, but they feel that the overall wouldn't be as, the participation wouldn't be there. And it would cost quite a bit to have a sponsor do that. Here is a 17-year-old that I asked her. Her name is Amy. Well, her thought, she had about 6 lines, but I'm trying to see what she said here. Yeah, well, go ahead. Go ahead. I just wanted to talk specifically about the run.
Okay. So your feeling is
Just
it's
some overall comments. I'll go over like
I have 7 here,
7 different people.
and they're different ages.
So
And I had also talked to Emily, who was over the run. And Emily does know someone that does the virtual run. And she just said, with the cost, we would have to have about 100 runners to balance the cost for those that are participating. And she just said, she says, we shouldn't have 100.
Mm-hmm. I think that yeah, good feedback, good report, good research in that area, Christy and Kevin.
let me just share really quick, and this will get the hair on the back of Steve's neck stood up, because he knows I'm not in favor of Founder's Day. But let me just share. These are not me. This isn't me. These are people that Christy has reached out to. Very random. She's talked to lots and lots of people. But let me just share some comments. This is a 17-year-old. Even if Pleasant View has Founder's Day, I won't go. We should get a hint from other communities. And it goes on. Jake, he's 22. I think it sounds fun, but it's too soon. I think everyone is waiting to rush back into things. What's the point of a virtual run?
No.
So, and
There's
then
Kurt.
Jeff is 20. I think we should cancel everything this year.
My mother-in-law has been a runner in the fun run. She actually looks forward to it. She's actually the driver in the parade too. She drives the parade princess around. She has run the race for years and years and years. And she said, if it's a virtual run, she will not participate.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of the feedback we get. They say, we're tired of the computer.
Yeah.
Okay, I know Allison has some ideas that maybe can be incorporated in an activity later in the month that the recreation group could sponsor, where it could maybe be a possibility for those that are interested. But as far as Founder's Day, sounds like maybe we'll omit that one this year and then see what happens as we look forward to next year. Is that okay?
Yeah, I would maybe on the block game that you're talking about doing, or you could include an activity. Did your family go for a walk, or did your family do a bike ride? Did you go for a mile, and have a picture taken with their families that have done that as a group?
Okay, good thought. Moving on, the idea of a neighborhood, a mini What was the name that you mentioned, Allison?
I should have wrote it down. I don't remember.
A flash something? I can't
Oh, yeah.
remember.
Instead of a flash parade, what did I call it? Flash something.
Anyway, Anne, share your idea and let's decide what we can do with it.
Well, so my idea was just to try and take the parade to the people, and anybody that was entered in the parade, we couldn't have it as long as normal, but you could have like city council, some police, maybe some fire, planning commission, that kind of stuff. Everyone would have to be on something mobile, like a four-wheeler or a razor or something like that. But I thought we could kind of go to some of the main arteries and a few things and throw candy at them and just, you know, still get out and have some sort of a parade. So that's kind of what I was thinking about.
We did
Would
that
that be
today
the
with,
same time at 10?
Yeah, and I think we'd have to almost publish sometimes, you know, we'll hit this section at 9 and this section at 9:30 or whatever. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of planning and preparation and stuff like that, but I think we can make it happen.
who saw the Loma View School Parade today? Did any of you? We did that. We used, we put out a map and we emailed to all the parents of, that, like you said, and the main arteries and stuff. And we had the police guide us and us. And it was just all the teachers either in their teams, you know, in the back of a truck, or they decorated their cars, a whole lot of noisemakers and the sirens just going through, you know, up 500, down 4. It was a lot of fun. And people kept their distance. And we didn't go through every single street, but we told them areas that we could go to on Pleasant View Drive, 500, 900, Evergreen Drive, 4300. And it was a lot of fun. So
Comments, Allison? We talked about this a little bit. Logistics.
Yeah, I think a map would be really important to do. The other idea I had was there's 5 city council and 1 mayor. Why don't we split the Pleasant View into 6 sections? And you all have your like neighborhood streets that you're going through. So then we can hit all of Pleasant View. Someone will hit all of Pleasant View. And then I think we'd get it done quicker. Just hitting everyone. But
I'd rather do it all together if we're going to do it. I don't, nobody wants to come out and just see me. They want to see the whole
You
thing.
could do.
Well, there would be
use
5
snowplow
cars
route
with you.
I know, but I would rather use main arteries spread out and just use everybody together with the fire trucks and police. I instead of, that's just my thoughts. So instead of spreading.
You could just do the routes with our snowplow books.
Well, that's a good
We
idea.
already have the whole city broke down like you're talking.
And then maybe give them some time points. I could get on a 4-wheeler and drive slow and see how long it takes us to get to the different main roads or something.
That's
Because I don't want it to last 2 hours because
That's a really
trying to
good
hit
point.
everything.
And Allison, you bring up a good point too, because the police and the fire department are not going to have 2 hours to do this. They're just not going to be able to do it for 2 hours. They can start us and maybe finish, but they're not going to be able to go with us the whole way.
Yeah, our parade lasted, I think, almost. Corey, do you know? Did they tell you? Did Ron tell you how long it lasted today? I want to say it was 45 minutes. The parade that we went.
Just under an hour.
Yeah, and we went at a pretty good pace. We did not throw candy. The police said no way with all the kids. We just went through and had a ton of noisemakers and cheered and said, hey, and people kept their distance, but it was long. It was 45 minutes. So
when you do this, you're not talking about having floats come in, Ann, are you? Are you just talking about just the city employees and the fire department?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to just cut it way back to just city employees, fire department, that kind of stuff. I don't think we can have entries.
No,
Right.
I think that's a great idea.
And nobody on foot, obviously. We gotta keep it moving.
Mhm.
I think we should take the $1,000 we'd spend on candy and put that towards some prizes for the thing Allison's talking about. I just don't think that's going to be very effective. I mean, you go up and down streets that don't have people out. There's going to be a few people that will come out, I would think, but for the amount of people that you get, I just don't think that'd be worth it. Honestly, I don't know. They hit every street, and then we want to get away from the parade thing. So anyway, my vote would be no on the parade. I don't think it's worth it.
I agree.
as far as the city stuff, I guess, and then there would be the concern with if you're spending that much time and resource, with everything going on, is there a better place for your time and money during all this? I know that's come up a few times with some of these type of things or unnecessary things that
Yeah.
places are doing, but maybe nobody's concerned about that.
Well, I agree. And I think that people agree. And I think the more we could incorporate people supporting business from Pleasant View, I know those people would appreciate it. I mean, Straw Market, those poor people. But there's a lot of business that we have in Pleasant View that I think we could incorporate people to support them.
Well, it looks like we have kind of mixed feelings about it. My vision was just maybe, 8 to 10 golf courts, 4-wheelers with people on those, maybe one police car in front, maybe less than an hour. We say between the hours of 9 and 10. And also, I'm going back to Tim Healy. When he was mayor, the tradition that he started was his own brown station wagon with maybe 3 or 4 of the city council and their vehicles behind it, with flags hanging out of their windows, just going through town, honking their horns because they did it on the 4th of July and they were commemorating, our country. But that's how the whole parade started, whatever it was, 50 years ago. And I'm also thinking of people who are shut in, not shut in, but May Ferguson, for example, if it were mobile enough, that half a dozen 4-wheelers would go by May's house and honk, and or maybe Healy, or maybe some of the people who have been in our community for a long time. I think there's some merit there, but so I'm seeing a real reduced kind of thing, and nothing that's like a parade. But so
maybe you just have, there you go, take a vote.
Okay, so you've got your hand right in front of you. Becky, will you count the hands, please?
What's this?
All in favor?
What's
Those
the
in
vote?
favor, put your hand right there, okay?
For what? Tell me
In
what.
favor of a parade that would be minimized and doing something to meet people's needs. If you're in favor, show your hand right there. Okay, we've got, how many, Becky? 5? Okay, put them down. Those who are opposed to having a parade of any kind.
Yeah, I go
5.
either way.
Tyson, what's your, was he on the phone? Or
I
did
think
you vote
there-
yes?
I
He
think
doesn't
there
I'm
was
a-
6.
I'll do whatever I'm told. I'm just
I think if there's a split
I've
like
given my
this, you probably
opinion,
should
and I
have.
don't.
Okay, Mayor usually
If-
breaks a tie and we know his vote, so I guess we don't.
So, yeah, if there's a split, so.
Yeah, so it looks like we don't have a parade, but thank you very much for your enthusiasm. And that means we get to put more energy into the other, whatever happened. Okay, so Barker Park activities. Sarah, give us a rundown of what you're thinking about.
Okay, there's not going to be a water slide. There's not going to be any of that, but food trucks right now are allowed in all of the counties, and they have strict guidelines that the counties, whatever county that they're in, their health department, whatever, about, like restaurants do and have to wipe down and whatever, and they have employees who stand out and keep people separated. So, and they've done it really, really well. So if we had food trucks, we would spread them out and we would allow them to come at 10 and they could stay as long as they like. It's not an official, hey, food trucks are starting or whatever. People can come get a bite to eat and they can leave. And we would also, I would be there, Allison would be there, whatever, to help sanitize the tables if they chose to stay and leave, whatever. There was a possibility of having a volleyball game go on and they could do it just freestyle, right, Allison? People could just play volleyball, or you could have actual tournament.
I talked to Jeff Barlow, who's done it for us in the past, and he said, what if we went to a 2-on-2 instead of a 4-on-4? So then it would be just 2 people from the same household. playing with each other.
Mhm.
He still only has the same amount of nets, and so it would be half the people there, but it would still bring some people there, and they would know what they were signing up for, and high
Yeah.
five handshakes and different stipulations like that.
And we don't lose any money with the food trucks coming, and they are very well aware of how all the social distancing and everything that happens with that. And according to that food truck culture, it's been working really well. And they just had some in North Salt Lake, and they've been having them in Bountiful and different areas. And so just a way for people to go get some food, like we go to Bella's and get takeout, and then we go home, or we stay and talk a little bit and then we go home. And they will go if
So
there's
would
not
there
a lot
be
of
like
people there.
hours that you kind of focus on?
We start at 10 and they could stay all day as far as I'm concerned, or we could ask them to leave, but and you can watch a volleyball game if you want. It's a big enough park. The parks are open now. In North Ogden, they just released that. And under yellow, I believe the parks are open in Pleasant View also with social distancing guidelines. And so if the parks are open and you can allow food trucks with, the people who want to come out will come out. You won't get a massive amount of people, and the people who want to stay home will stay home. It's just an option for people to come and have, a bite to eat and say hi from a distance, you're 6 feet or whatever else. I don't really see a problem with it.
I like the idea. I'd like to limit it or to give it some hours, just a tad bit of structure, 10 to 2 or whatever you would like to do, but just so we can, in the advertisement, say there would be food
Sure.
trucks available for those who are interested during whatever hours.
Like 10 to 5 or whatever, and then they can go home if you like, or something like that. Or they could leave and then they could come back if you wanted them to when they watch the fireworks, or you could just have them go. So.
Do you know if they order from the food truck like by telephone?
They do. They
and
do.
Would they deliver it to their
They
car?
Mm-hmm.
I
They
think that
absolutely
would, that would be good.
Yeah, a lot of these food trucks, because of the previous guidelines, have had to turn to catering just like that, where they do. If you go to Zeppi's right now on Washington Boulevard, you can't get out. They bring it, they have you call, they bring it to your car. Same thing with the food truck. They'd bring it to your car. Or you could get out, and they have enough employees that they stand out and, social distance, help you social distance and stuff. But there's been a lot of positive feedback in other counties and cities where they've done this. And so, yeah, they'll bring it to your car, or you could just get a bite if you'd like. So it's something
I like
fun.
that idea, Sarah. I really do. I think that's, a safe, we're being safe. We're trying to protect the community.
Right.
And giving them options for whatever.
Yeah, we have some music playing. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like you've got that, Sarah. So go for it.
It'll be fun.
Do they have a salmon food truck?
They do have a hook and reel.
I don't know if Becky has a truck.
You want a fish
You're
one?
gonna have a truck, Becky?
Becky, you should. That's the
I
one
have a
that
truck.
everybody- so many people are so disappointed about that, but that's okay.
It'll be even better next year.
Yeah.
Becky, if I do something in my yard, can you do it? Get
Yeah.
everybody- Okay, wonderful.
I know the cooks will be in. They're really kind of sad.
Wait,
Oh,
Steve,
move
so
it
you're
to my
having
house.
one at your house? I think that's an invitation for all of us, right?
Amen.
Let's do it.
50 of you.
Super. So
Just by way of
Plan
suggestion,
on a larger crowd next year.
What?
We plan on a larger crowd next year for the Salmon Bay,
For sure.
because I
Yeah.
think people will be coming.
by way of suggestion, you might want to consider running the food trucks longer. If you're gonna still do fireworks, run it into
I
that.
agree.
That was the original plan. I know Jerry mentioned that, but that was the idea. They would come at 10, and then there would be a huge lull, and they don't care because right now so many communities canceled on them. They're starting to get back up, they'll just stay there. And then when people decide to come, to watch the fireworks, they'll be there again, and it's an option. So they would like to stay if we will let them. And I said, I don't see a problem.
I don't see that they would make a lot of money if they were just there 2 or 3 hours. I really don't. I don't think I think that the ordering and everything is a lot slower.
Yeah. And they would love to stay. And there will be about, we're supporting local businesses with Amy Rich's, with, help me out, Buttercup Baking Company, and Zeppi's is a local business. And talk to, this is coming up, Jerry's going to ask me about it in a minute, but David Gordon, and
Yeah.
you know, some other ones too that come. So it'll be fun. There's it'll be
Sarah,
like
would
5 or
you
6.
reach, if we approve this, would you reach out to Woody?
Yes.
Because, you know, they had the greatest corn dog, and
Do you want the greatest corn dog?
Yes.
I like them. I think that's what I would eat, but I would like to invite them up as well, that would be coming to the car show, because they're out.
The greatest corn dog.
Well, just reach out. He has a list of food
Oh,
trucks.
I see. Okay.
He has a list of food trucks that he canceled on for the
Okay.
car show. And so they were planning, you know, that 12 to 4.
Okay.
And so that might go with Mrs. Bailey. You know, her thoughts of, you know, if some people had to leave or something, these other people could come.
Yeah, I'll talk to them, or we could even have them at 2 different parks if that works too.
I think just have one central location is fine. I don't think many people would go to Shady Lane.
Well, I agree with Sarah. Number one, you got a power problem. And so if you can spread them out and then people can.
They're all
They go off of generators except for like one. But the other that I do work with a guy, he's already rounding up food trucks. And so I will talk to Woody too, though, and see what we can work out.
I would just like to include Woody's people as well. I mean,
Yeah,
'cause they're
we'll
out.
talk to them. Yeah.
And I'd hate to have something and have them find out that we did something through the whole day and then they were not invited.
Yeah,
But I
I'll
like
see-
the corn dog. The world's best corn dog is the best corn dog out there, and it's always down at the car show.
It is.
Oh my gosh, there's no such thing, just for the record. You can still bring them, but I won't be there.
I'm a fan.
No,
And have a corn dog with honey on it with ketchup and mustard. It's so
Ooh.
good.
It is so good.
I like real meat.
They're all beef.
okay, and of course, the city-
Hey, oh, can I interrupt?
What?
There is a lady in Pleasant View, and Ann or Sarah, you probably know who she is. She's the one that has a food truck and does the business, and she does the chicken, the
Yeah.
teriyaki.
Amy Rich, Buttercup Baking
Yeah,
Company.
is that who it is?
Yeah,
All right.
she's coming. She's
Okay.
coming.
Sorry, I just know
No,
that
you're fine.
they were a big hit.
They always are. And
Yeah.
they sell out and they're good.
Okay.
So I would say let's start it at 11. They're not really gonna be breakfast food, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think we start at 11 to
Okay.
space out those who eat lunch early, but I don't really see a need for it to be as early as 10.
No, so we'll advertise 11 if they show up at 10, but we'll advertise at 11. Is that
Yes, they
okay?
can set up, but I think we tell the public
Yeah.
11 to,
Uh-huh.
or something, 11 to 9.
What time are you telling Jeff to do his thing? What time are you telling Jeff?
Whatever time we tell him to.
What time?
He has been doing that like 11 o'clock time, kind of after the parade.
Should we do that 11 then to have Jeff come set up and do that?
Yeah. So we'll have them start at the same time at 11. I think that sounds good.
Do you guys all like that?
Can
Sure.
can I ask a question?
Go ahead, Christy.
Sarah, I don't want to sound weird, but just for the public safety, for those that are serving food in the food trucks, does anybody think it's dumb to at least take their temperature or?
They have guidelines from the health
They
department.
do. They have to be masked and gloved and they can't be sick and they wipe down their machines and they have to sanitize the whole
Okay.
thing. And they
All
give
right,
the-
thank you.
Yeah, they give the
Order
very
it in the
appearance
hours,
that
yeah.
they're very,
I just would like people to know that we're being safe for them.
for sure, for sure.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
county, they tightly regulate those things. The county does for sure.
Okay, thanks.
Good deal. So tell us about how great the fireworks are going to be, Sarah.
Oh my gosh, you guys are going to be so excited. Maybe.
Yeah.
So, well, okay, Leonard, let's speak some fireys. You'll appreciate this, and Corey and the chief, is the biggest shell that they've ever done at Weber High is size 6. because Weaver High's campus will be closed and stuff, and Steve Schreiber has been talking to Ryan Barker. Ryan, if Steve and Ryan agreed, and Ryan said he would, as long as he gave him a good map, is going to go up to stinking almost 10. And those things shoot up so high and are so massive and huge, it won't matter where you are, you will see that show. Because a lot of Pleasant View show is kind of on the ground, you know, but since we won't be there, they're going to eliminate most of that, and it will be mostly really huge and really high up in the air. And it will be really, really good. And I'm trying to get a hold of David Gordon. He's been in Wyoming, and talk to him how you can pipe it through the music through a radio station. So it won't matter where you are. If you care about music that's coordinated with fireworks, you can tune into that radio station and listen to the music. Lots of, patriotic music, Steve. He's really excited with the fireworks with the show. So
I know that David used the radio thing down at the fairgrounds, and it's a limited amount of geographical area that it will cover. So we would be limited. You could do Weaver High parking lot. You can't do all of Pleasant View.
No, but he does it for North Ogden, and we were parked quite a bit of ways away from Barker Park, and we're able to tune in. Barker Park in North Ogden? Yeah.
Check with him.
I'll talk with him. If he's not an option, Weber State University, their radio station, they offer to let us use their channel too. So
that's what I was gonna say. I've been up to Idaho Falls and Malad, and Pocatello. They use a local radio station, then you have the guarantee, because Kevin said, with the other ones they can only be so strong. I know here in Tremont, and there's been some other conflicts with how many people are on it and stuff. So the radio station might be the safest if you have a radio station willing to do it.
Yeah, they do charge radio stations your FM 100 and 99.5 and those guys. So there's a price with that. But local colleges like Weber State and stuff are a little bit more willing to say, hey, we'll help you out. You're a municipality. We want to be, community members and just by way of that. And so, but we can also get pricing from, actual radio stations in the state in Salt Lake.
Well, the radio station at Weber State would probably be sufficient.
Yeah,
that'd be a good shot. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Super.
And then are we planning with staff for if they swarm or congregate in masses in Weber High parking lot or Barker Park?
They're not going to be in the parking lot at Weber High. You'd be more worried
Who's
about
stopping
Barker
that?
Park. Weber.
Because that was closed forever, and I watched 20 to 50 cars heading up to the field the whole time it was closed. So I was just to clarify, or either
Corey,
our plan is that's their problem, or
no, just prior to that, they shut down. We've got certain spots that we shut down every year. And this year we'll just move our guys to shut down the parking lot. It's going to be almost virtually impossible to stop people from sneaking up there on foot or anything like that. But we'll do our best to at least keep them from parking up there.
Okay, that's all. I was just making sure that's still that
Why
there's some
can't we have
intention.
them park there? What's wrong with them parking in the parking lot? As long as they don't go in the field.
because the campus is closed. They'll let us light fireworks from the campus, but they don't want people on campus. They're not going to encourage people to come up there and park or go up on the field right now.
No, we're going to close the field for sure.
But they won't open the parking lot either. That's the district policy right now.
And then we won't worry about Barker Park here or the Canal Road, because it's public and they can go there if they want, kind of deal.
Generally, the fire department tries to close down the Canal Road so we can get
our
on there.
Mm-hmm. I guess Corey, you guys would figure out how you do all the traffic and whatever.
We'll work out the traffic stuff.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of people. They won't be up in the stadium like they have in the past, but between Barker Park and around there, I think there's going to be a lot of people watching.
They'll be pulled over on the roadside and watch from their cars too, and on people's lawns and stuff. But
let the people be free.
Are you gonna still need any road barricades or anything, or just the little bit you and us have will be sufficient?
I think everything that you've got, Tyson, I think will be okay.
Perfect.
We'll
Can I,
Sorry. We just need the sweeper the next, plan to sweep up the driving range again, Tyson.
Oh, sure. Nope, I assumed if they were shooting, we were still doing that part.
can I voice what maybe I have heard a little bit? I mean, if North Ogden can't, forgive me, I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, but if North Ogden canceled, if Weber State's canceled, and other cities have canceled their fireworks because of the COVID and the expanse of how, do you understand what I'm saying? How come we're better and we can do it? I mean, do you think the citizens are concerned about
No.
the money we're spending?
Well, maybe
already
the money, but the money's already been spent.
Not all
Look,
of it.
We need to celebrate this thing, and we need to go forward. I'm tired of this. I really am. I mean, we are locked down. We've given up our rights, and I don't mean to make fun of that. I mean, and I respectively disagree with some of this stuff. I think we've let this go way too far. We need to not give up our rights, and we need to go forward.
You know though, Steve, and I'm not arguing, I'm just saying that as a nation, everybody should be disagreeing with you. I mean, yes, it's gone a long ways. Yes, it's been frustrating, but there's people dying because of this. We're going to introduce it to our community? I don't think so. I just totally
fireworks are not
disagree.
going to hurt anything, Kevin.
Totally disagree.
Fireworks are not going to hurt anything to get together.
Unless everybody gathers in Barker Park to watch them, and that's what's going to happen.
Well, there are going to be a few people there, and if you're sick, if you're affirmed, if you got a cold, stay home.
Well, how are we going to police the park?
We're not going to police the park. We're going to let, for 15, 20 minutes, we're going to let them go. We're not going to worry about it.
I think though that we have to put it out in publications that people are encouraged to watch from their own cars, their own homes, and not invite them to Barker Park. But if they show up, they show up. I would not invite them.
Amen. I agree with that.
That mayor is taking a lot of criticism, and I just hate to see criticism come upon Pleasant View. So that's my point.
I think where we're at with the yellow phase, and I just think people are smart about it now. I honestly, I'm in support of it. I think it's nice to pull the community together. I'm so tired of everything being canceled. I think this is something we can do safely. And I think most people will be pretty responsible about it and keep their distance.
I think if we have it, that needs to be the narrative. Okay, we have to stress that.
As we talk about the publicity, which is next on the agenda, and Sarah, I'd like to work specifically as we talk about how to do that and so forth.
Yes.
We will emphasize the COVID cautions and distancing and everything that our government has suggested. But I think from the beginning, we've been united, most of us, that fireworks is something that can be done at a distance. You know, we're not congregating people together. We're celebrating the traditions of our country from a distance in a safe way. And the people who I've talked about have all said, gosh, I'm glad we're doing something. That's good. We're not making people do anything.
Yeah, in our publications, besides caution, and social distancing and all respecting all those things, I wouldn't even mention Barker Park. We're not even going to bring it up as an option. People will do what they do, but if we have a police presence there too, because there's going to be because of traffic, people are going to be smart. We will tell them that Weber Heights campus is closed, and that will help them see, oh, okay, we have to, figure out something else to do. But people congregate at Barker Park anyway, but we're going to not invite them to, and we're going to have people around.
I do not want to put our police officers in that confrontational aspect in Barker Park.
No, they'll just be there anyway. They're not going to ask them to leave. They're just going to be there.
I hope that that's not what we decide from this committee, because I do not want to put the police officers in that position. to police them to, I mean, like it's happened, there's, several of these people, I'm not gonna go into the things, but police officers
Yeah.
are forced to
No,
go into
that's not,
businesses and shut them down. I mean, that's
not what I meant.
that's
They're
not here.
just
So
gonna be
I
there
don't
anyway.
let
That's
the
not what
police
I
be
meant.
in traffic control and do the great job that they always
Yeah.
do and be the heroes that they are. But let people enjoy the fireworks, for heaven's sakes. It's a fun thing. My family looks forward to it every year at the close of Founder's Day, and I'd move it to the 4th if we had the fireworks people could do it, but
They can't.
that's not a possibility.
I really like the slogan, stay home, look up. I like that one a
That's good.
lot. So then, and I don't know if we tell them they're going to be bigger fireworks, but if they know that by staying home, I'm going to still get to see the show,
Yeah.
maybe that could be what we encourage. Stay
Salt
home,
Lake-
look up.
Salt Lake just did that. They used a very similar slogan. Salt Lake, 8 cities got together. They said, stay home, look up. And they put all 8 cities is it this week or last week? They're doing a huge show, 8 cities all together. And that's kind of their slogan of stay home, look up.
Yeah, I
So-
think that could be.
I apologize. I have to leave to go to a board
Oh.
meeting. So
Okay, I think we're about finished anyway. Thanks,
Yeah,
Mayor.
I really do like that slogan. I think that's really good.
Great. So just in follow up then, I think that because of the individuality, we probably will not need another committee meeting altogether. We'll work with Allison and Sarah on those individual activities and decide about the blackout game versus the goose chase. Any other final comments or questions that anybody has? Becky, thank you for being here. And we hope all in favor of Becky helping out next year, raise your hand.
2 hands, 2 hands.
Okay.
Thank you,
At
Becky.
least we
If you
want
guys need
to,
any
that's not a
help
commitment.
this year, I'd be glad to help with whatever.
You're great. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Policing, I've always wanted to be a cop.
Oh, hey.
You're hired.
Chief, give her a hat, okay? Well, thanks to each one of you for being here and for being a part of our great community. And Sarah, I'll be in touch with you and we'll work through the
Okay.
Thank you.
publicity, okay?
And
also-
if hey, Ann, everybody, if you guys have suggestions on food trucks or, anything, yes, sure. Anytime. So,
Corn dog. I want corn dog.
No, I want crepes.
Corn dogs and crepes.
There's
Oh,
one that's
yeah, crepes.
Corn
sure.
dogs and crepes.
We have a
Thank
request
you.
for waffle love too.
Nothing's better with
so
a corn dog than
Yeah,
a
don't
crepe.
forget waffle love.
Can't forget waffle love. You guys are
Cookie
awesome.
butter.
It'll be a fun show. It'll be good. We'll have a good time.
Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Thank you much.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.